Imagine for a moment you're teleported back to the year 1842. You're at a stage show where the crowd is being mesmerized and hypnotized by the great master Phineas Quimby. And he asks for volunteers, and you raise your hand, and you're selected as one of his volunteers to go on stage. Everyone's applauding and clapping as you walk to the stage, and he has you sit down. He does his mesmerizing tricks and techniques to put you into a hypnosis state. As he goes through, he tells the audience, he says, all disease, all lack, and all misfortune are actually direct result of limitations found in the subconscious, and what I'm about to perform will look like a miracle to most, but it's science to the very few. As he's working through your subconscious mind, he starts to rewire the ideas of lack into prosperity. He starts to rewire the ideas of disease into perfect health. And boom, in a snap of a click, after 10 minutes of technique, you actually wake up where you are right now today. You feel different about you. You expect different outcomes in your life, and you can't help but feel so called to start manifesting in $20,000 per month consistently and predictably. You can't help but actually launch into action. You feel so called to do so. You feel so driven. And you ask yourself, would it be okay for you to start earning $20,000 per month? And all of your conscious and subconscious say, unequivocally, yes. You start moving into action. You start actually creating things. You go through your fair share of obstacles and challenges, but you turn those into opportunities. And before you know it, 9, 10, 11, 12 months later, you are now manifesting in and earning a consistent $20,000 per month. How did all of that happen? If that were something that were the case, what occurred there? See, these secrets have been held from us for a very long time, but they've been known for hundreds, even thousands of years. We teleport you back to a hypnosis, a master mind expert 200 years ago almost. It was known back then, but society has shunned a lot of these secrets as something that's illusionary or something that's magic. Yet we understand in science that thought and feeling is much more than what we think it is. And in science right now, there's a very large picture missing on understanding really what a soul is, what's the meaning of life, why are we here, and what's really going on. What we could start to talk about is you believing in the top 1% and you being a 1%er that's earning over $20,000 per month consistently, and understanding that there's something that occurs when you can change the internal wiring of your identity, your self-image, and who you believe to be and who you believe your world is at a fundamental level. Let's step into 7 core steps that's going to allow you to manifest in $20,000 at a very consistent, a lot more effortless way that I also did myself many years ago, and my students and clients are thriving using these 7 steps. So step number 1 is, if it were possible, what would need to happen in order for you to manifest in $20,000 per month? That's a fantastic, empowering question from the universe. If it were possible, so many of us are walking limitations. We can't even fathom how to manifest or earn an income of $20,000 per month. So one of the law of attraction secrets here that we're going to start working with is empowering questions. If it were possible, what would need to happen? A couple of possible options and examples that would come forth from that question in a divine answer form would be, well, I need to become an entrepreneur if I'm not already one and start a business. Or I need to become an intrapreneur, meaning I have entrepreneur skills and talents, but I don't need to be the face of a company. I'd rather work inside of somebody else's company and business, helping them with the vision and mission they have because I have a similar vision and mission for my life. Or I would need to win the lottery every month consistently, or at least once a year where I'm earning $250,000, which is effectively $20,000 per month. Or I need to get a job increase that allows me to actually get to that level of income, which is rare, but it is a possible option for you to go down. We just went through 4 different options. There's many, many ways to actually manifest and earn in $20,000 per month. But we need to start looking at what would need to take place. And within this step, you start looking at what feels most aligned with you. What feels in your heart center to go down. So for example, if you're already an entrepreneur in business earning $5,000 a month? Well, you're probably going to say, well, my best, greatest intuitive possibility would be staying in this business to create and scale to $20,000 a month. Even though I don't know how, I just want to talk about the possibility right now. Or maybe you're operating your own business, but it's $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month, and you really don't enjoy it. So you're like, I'm gonna go find a position where I can go ahead and work in somebody else's business and company using my skills, using my passions to move things forward. So step one is answering that question. If it were possible, what would need to take place intuitively and in alignment for you that feels in integrity, genuine, authentic to where you want to go in life? Select that first. Now, step number two is we need to identify the resistances that are coming up, blocking you from $20,000 per month. So we just talked about what's possible. We need to equally look at what internally is telling you it's not possible for you. I've worked with 1,500 clients now. 1,500 of my students, and so many of the same limiting beliefs start to come up over and over that are causing internal resistance to, number one, not even get them moving forward in the first place. Number two, not even aiming at $20,000 per month because they don't even believe it's possible. Or number three, running into obstacles and them thinking it's a sign from the universe I should not do this, which is complete BS. That's not accurate. So let's start looking at the resistances that may come up. Say out loud, I'm now manifesting in $20,000 per month in this business, in this thing, whatever you chose in option in step number one, and listen to the thoughts that follow. So for example, the thought may follow, I'm not somebody that's capable of doing that. Or you're stimulating too much hope. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. Or I've tried so many years and months in a row to try and get to $20,000 a month. Why would it happen now? Or if I earn $20,000 per month, what's my family gonna say and think about me? Or if I'm manifesting in $20,000 per month, what if somebody gets it? What if somebody takes it away from me? Or if I'm manifesting in $20,000 per month, oh my God, how am I going to handle this level of success? What if I crumble down to zero? You see, these limiting thoughts are recurring for most human beings on the planet. Most human beings are walking forces of limitation, blocks, obstacles internally. These resistances, we need to reframe it. It's not trying to work against you. These resistances are there to try to protect you from some emotional threat. So for example, if I grew up in a household where every time there's a rich or wealthy or prosperous person on the TV, in a movie, on a commercial, or local neighborhood you drive through and you see these massive houses, and the thoughts were, man, they must have stole to get that money. Or a thought like, what about us? That person's gonna buy $1 million house. Couldn't they just give some money to me? I'm struggling. Or that rich, filthy person, filthy, stinking rich. Do you see the words that go with that? Filthy, stinking, rich. You see, these ideas are traumas that are instilled into the subconscious mind, and your subconscious tries to protect you from the things that may be an emotional threat. So no wonder why your subconscious is serving up, I don't want to get $20,000 per month because you know what it means for me? I'm going to be one of those people my family don't like. So the resistance is not trying to hurt you. It's not the universe testing you. It's not any of that stuff. More so, it's a part of you trying to protect another part of you from anything that may feel inadequate, may make it feel I'm not good, may make it feel morally and ethically off. So step number three we need to do is get those voices actually on the same page with you so they're not resistances, but actually supplementing you manifesting $20,000 per month. I work so deeply with my students on this. In fact, some of my students I've worked with, I've gotten 10 years of resistances, traumas, and blocks eliminated in a 15-minute session. It's not that hard, but it's actually a very masterful, complex technique that you need somebody else oftentimes to do on you. It's like an energetic surgery. But since you're watching this video, I won't be able to do that on you right at this moment. But what I can do is give you the ideas of how to do it on your own. So what you're gonna do is ask a series of questions. A, why are you here? So the voice comes in, you ask it, why are you here? B, who are you? C, what age are you? And finally, letter D, what are you protecting me from? Those 4 components right there are going to give you insights of exactly what it's trying to protect you from, who is actually talking to you, and what's going on. Many of my students uncover, and it's like a crazy leap for them internally because they finally realize that resistance that feels like a limitation, it's actually not even them, it's their grandfather, their grandmother, a friend, a sibling, a mother, a father, a guardian, a coach, a teacher from when they were in education and grade school. They actually hear that person, and then it actually tells them, I'm trying to protect you from falling. I'm trying to protect you from failing. I'm trying to protect you from false hopes. And as soon as that clicks for you, immediately there's a separation from the trauma and block, from the who you really are, the I and self form built together. So immediate separation is the key there. And as you start to get into immediate separation, you want to soothe that voice as much as possible with helping it understand the best way for you to survive and thrive is through manifesting more money. And you want to have that conversation. Again, we can go into the complex technique of that. Just click the link in my description to have you and I be able to talk about it in our program as well, if you'd like to get some help. If not, this will at least give you a couple of the initial steps to go through. Now, step number 4 is understanding what's a product or service that's going to get you there. So a lot of things that miss out in law of attraction manifestation is talking about constructive action on the physical plane. Like, in order to manifest consistently $20,000 per month, you need to open up the channels through which you receive the $20,000. Alignment comes first, identity comes first, absolutely. But what needs to come second is actual action on the physical plane. Action literally is sometimes opening up a refrigerator and grabbing a healthy piece of food. That's action. Another action, going to bed at 10:30 and setting an alarm. That's an action. Going downstairs into your kitchen, or going into your kitchen if you don't have a 2-level house, and grabbing a drink of water, putting it into the water filter, pouring the water, and actually drinking the water. That's action. So action is a part of your day-to-day living. And the same thing goes with manifesting in what you want. A lot of people say, I just want to bring in and manifest my soulmate. And I always ask also with their identity shift, what have you been doing that actually allows that soulmate to find you? Have you been going out and about? Have you been joining classes which you and your soulmate probably are both interested in? Are you actually opening up the ways to actually have you find them as well? It's really important that you actually act on this physical plane we're in. We're not in the ether plane all day, every day. A part of us is, another part of us is equally on this physical plane. So you need to open up channels. So for example, if you're an entrepreneur trying to manifest in $20,000 a month, you would say, how many things could I sell at $100 each to get to $20,000 a month? Well, I would need to sell 200 products or services at $100 each, and I would be there every month. Or how do I have a different product or service that's $10,000 and I sell 2 of those per month? So you start breaking this number down and you start looking at what's the service or product that's going to help you out. Or if you're an entrepreneur, what kind of position would allow me to thrive in somebody else's company, but also earn commissions to allow myself to get to that place? Or how many lotteries do I need to play in order to have that possible outcome come into play? Right. So we need to understand, what is it that I need to start putting out there in the world to allow this to come through? And step number 5 is, what ideal audience is going to jive with that service, product, or thing as well? If I'm an entrepreneur or intrapreneur, or if I'm in a full-time job, how can I manifest in bonuses? Or if in my full-time job right now, I don't have the capability really too much of having bonuses come in, what other companies or places could I start working for in order to actually have that $20,000 per month closer and closer to me? Or if I'm in a full-time job, what's a side hustle business that I can start to start earning that money? You start looking at, who's my ideal audience if I'm doing a side hustle or a new company for a new job? what's my best case scenario? So if I'm in a business, who's my ideal audience? Where are they? And how can I get in touch with them and volumize that so I'm not getting in touch with one of those ideal people, but I'm getting in touch with 1,000 of those ideal people. So we start looking at, how do I connect myself energetically through the law of attraction with those right people? Step number 6 is actually getting out there and trying it and failing and moving forward. A lot of people, again, when it comes to law of attraction, one of the greatest blocks my students ask me over and over and over again, it must be every month when I'm on my calls with everybody, that they ask these same questions like, how do I balance actually putting in action and actually being in manifestation? Well, it's both. You start your day and throughout the day being in that energetic alignment. All my videos show that. If you need more help with that, link in the description below for all my law of attraction secret videos around parallel realities and $100,000 and parallel realities around money and secrets around that. But you want to go out there and start experimenting and trying to actually fail. How much can I actually fail to learn what I need to learn to move forward? When it comes to manifesting, you're like, I want to manifest $20,000 this month, and you get to the 30-day mark, it doesn't happen. You look back and not get frustrated by it, but instead you say, what things may be missing? Oh, well, I don't even have the skill of knowing how to market. Whether you're in a business or even if you're in a full-time job trying to get a better job, you need to be able to market yourself. Or I have no idea how to sell. I don't know how to sell a product. I feel so icky about sales. Or I have no idea about how to change my money mindset. Or I felt really good about visualizing and I can't stay consistent for more than 4 days. So you look back and you say, what do I need to learn and get better at to have this actually happen better next month? So many people, whether you're moving forward and earning and manifesting $20,000 per month or any other amount, they try and think wishful thinking. I'm just going to put it out there, and if it doesn't come in, I'm going to feel so bad. I don't even know if this stuff works. I don't know if I'm good enough. These stories are untrue. They're just trauma triggers, and those stories are created from those trauma triggers. So instead, you look at being a great manifester consists of put it out there. Did it happen? If it didn't, why didn't it happen? And what can I do better next time? And then do it again. I'm going to do this thing again, but better. Did it happen? If it didn't, what do I need to learn to become better at in order to have this happen? And then do it again. It's this cycle, this repeating feedback loop that gets you really, really good as a manifester. Essentially, we do that with everything: learning a language, riding a bicycle for the first time, driving a car for the first time, learning how to run a business for the first time. Whatever it is, we're constantly doing that. We're doing that automatically. Learn something, experiment with it, reiterate, and try again, doing it better. Step number 7 is allowing yourself to start becoming familiar with the feeling of having and holding $20,000 per month. So that's where your visualization comes into play. In your imagination, you're going to start to feel as if, like, if I had it already, how would it feel? What would I think about? What would I act on today? What would I do with my life? And you're going to reenact that in your imagination. So you're starting to get familiar with it. There's so many studies around the NBA basketball players that when they actually visualized over and over and over them shooting and actually going, the basketball going up and going through the hoop over and over and over, as they also practice on the physical plane to do that as well, they shot an amazing percent higher than those who never actually practiced in their mind first. And this is also documented in the fantastic book Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. He goes through these studies. Self-image is everything. So practicing in your mind while you're practicing on the physical plane is so critical. And as an added bonus, don't try to manifest $20,000 per month. Try to manifest the feelings and actions that are associated with $20,000 per month. That's a big difference. A lot of my students, they get trapped in this endless cycle of law of attraction. They're trying to manifest so much that they're trying to force, and they feel the absence of what they want. Instead, make this a fun game. Make it a puzzle. Try to manifest the feeling and action associated with $20,000 per month, not the actual thing. And I promise you things are going to move forward way faster. Whether you teleported back to 1842 again, whether you're here right now in this exact day that you're living in, doesn't matter. Our minds have always worked the same 200 years ago than they are today. It's the same thing. It's the same ways of creating your reality. It's the same ways of putting actions on the physical plane. Allow yourself to be in this space where you can actually work through these 7 steps plus the bonus idea there. Allow yourself to be in harmony with where you want to go. And make sure you subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and click that bell icon to get notified when all of our other Law of Attraction Secrets videos go out. What I highly encourage you to do is watch this video every day for 60 days straight. Get this ingrained in your mind so that you become the identity and self-image resonating with $20,000 per month. And if you've been on our channel a long time, you're already watching one of our videos for 60 days straight, finish that first and make this maybe a second video that you go through, or do that video in the morning and this video in the evening time. Whatever it takes to keep going through the same idea over and over, allowing yourself to be here. So again, subscribe if you haven't, click the bell icon so you're notified, and I look forward to seeing you over in all of our next videos around Law of Attraction, manifestation, and helping you have such a prosperous life. It's all in the rewiring of your consciousness. Every day, look to work on rewiring who you are to become the ultimate version of you.